It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode of the Up North Journal podcast is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Carbon Express,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Wind Scent Hunting Sense,
Killer Food Plots, Seeds, Supplements, and Attractants,
Cabela's,
Spot Shooters,
Limb Walker Turkey Calls,
Antler Action,
Family Tradition Tree Stands,
and Twisted Mind Bowstrings. And don't forget, you can catch us in syndication at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on goodtalkradio.com. Welcome back to another episode post-Easter Up North Journal. Did you have a good vacation?
Well, I'm still waiting for it to get warm.
Yeah.
We finally, I think, made it to the 40s today.
Oh, we did?
I think.
That's good.
I cannot confirm it. Last time I saw it was like 37.
Okay. All right.
So,
well, that's good. But did you have a good week?
Easter was good. The week was good.
You took some time off?
Yep. And we busy at work. Busy. End of the month.
I don't even want to talk about busy.
I know you were busy. I was busy, and
this week killed me.
So
I'm still out of sorts. I'm trying to kind of get back in the flow here. I got to get my flow going, my mojo.
I know. I
need some warm weather.
I think warm weather would help. You know, they said by midweek we're going to hit the 50s.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either.
I'll believe it when I feel it.
You're right there. I was outside today doing a little shed hunting. Went for a little walk behind the house in the woods.
Yeah.
It felt nice. It was still kind of cool though on the ears.
Yeah.
I had the hoodie on. It's like, man, it shouldn't be like this now.
No, we're about 15 to 20 degrees cooler than what we should be here.
Right,
you know?
Exactly. And then was it Friday night? It was snowing.
Yes, I posted a picture of that. I had about an inch and a half, 2 inches of snow in my car.
You came out of work and you had snow and
it was not good.
I know, and it's like, really? And then I just kind of had to laugh because I was listening to Tim on his live show, and I mentioned something about sending snow down to him, and he said, no, don't worry, because we're supposed to get 1 to 3 inches down here.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Well, speaking of snow, I got a report from camp, and with that same system that we got, a couple inches down here, 10 to 12 at camp. The first night, second night, they got another 2 to 3. So they got hammered pretty good up north.
That's not good.
Yeah, no, deer are not doing well.
A snowstorm like that in April is usually not good.
It's not good for the turkeys either.
Especially if they're stressing.
Right.
That's just like throwing salt in the wound, right?
Yeah, we'll cover a little bit of that, what we found on the property here a little later in the show. But, yeah, even the turkeys, I got to imagine right now they're probably going, hey, what's up, man?
I know.
It's time to be, getting ready for breeding season.
It was this morning, watching the news, it was like 9 degrees, 3 degrees in Houghton.
Wow.
Houghton Lake is like, that's cold.
That is cold.
And then yesterday, watching baseball, flipping around, I think Minnesota, they were playing in the teens.
Wow.
It was sunny.
That's crazy.
But it was cold.
Right.
So...
Not good.
Anytime now, when spring really wants to show up, please do.
Yeah, they said it might hit 60 here by Friday. So,
like you said, won't believe it till we see it.
Wait and see. But something that is good. You got that cup of coffee there. What do you think about that?
Well, you know what? I'm having my first cup right here of Hunter's Blend.
Yeah.
And you know what?
What do you think?
It is smooth.
It is, isn't it?
It's very smooth, and it almost... I'm by no means a coffee connoisseur kind of guy, since I hated coffee for the longest time.
Really? I didn't know that.
I did not like coffee for the longest time, and then, you know what? You just...
gotta have coffee.
It is what it is, and...
Love my coffee.
Right.
I tell you what, I opened this up today. This is Hunter's Blend. These guys are out of Ohio, and actually...
Yeah, it's there. Okay, so read. It's the Hemisphere Coffee Masters, otherwise known as Hunter's Blend, and their slogan is "Awaken the Hunt."
Right there's their webpage. Just put it up here on the screen,
and you can go to hemispherecoffee.com, and they're out of Mechanicsburg, Ohio.
Mechanicsburg. I'm vaguely familiar with that area.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I've heard of it. So yeah.
And then, so what we're drinking here is, let's see, I'll give you the specs, is a regular, this is a 12-ounce bag of ground.
And that's ground fine, too.
Yeah, it's ground really fine.
And just to compare, I normally drink, hey, Robin, how's it going? I see Robin's tuned in. I normally drink Folgers. And when I set up my coffee pot, I put 3 heaping teaspoons in. And actually, here, let's see what we got here. I'll show you a few pictures of what I did today.
All right.
And I put 3 heaping teaspoons into the filter and run it, okay? But with this, I was like, okay, I didn't know if it was strong, didn't know if it was mild.
Right.
I just didn't know, so I didn't want to go overboard. And instead of putting heaping scoops in, I put just level.
Okay, you leveled them off. Just went with a...
Put them in, and it came out great, man. It was awesome. Good stuff. So
and really, truthfully, I got a little bit of cream in mine, and typically at home, we've been drinking the McCafe, the McDonald's brand, and that's really good. Mm-hmm. But this is really smooth. I kind of like it.
It is. It really is. There for a while, I got into some stuff that I liked that had a little bit of a bite to it, a little stronger. But with this, I put my regular flavoring in it, and I was just like, wow, this is really good. It reminded me of the coffee that I had when I was in Illinois hunting with, just drew a huge blank here.
You're not kidding. I can see him.
Oh, I hate that.
I know.
How can I forget his name? I'm sorry. When I was hunting, we had coffee with does.
Yes. You were sitting there on the. I can see the picture. You were sitting there drinking coffee, and
Clint Turner.
There you go.
God, whoa. See, I told you it's been a long week.
We're out of the cabin for a couple weeks, and everybody we forget names.
But yeah, we were down there.
But you were having coffee, and you had does come in.
Yeah, right up behind us as we were pouring the coffee, and that's what this it tasted very similar to whatever we had that morning. I don't remember, but and thinking about Hunter's Blend, making it for hunters. You're out in the woods, you're trying to wake up in the morning, sitting in your blind. You've got a thermos full of coffee. To me, man, it's like, yeah, this stuff's pretty doggone good.
This is pretty smooth, I'm going to say. And it says right there, it says right here on the back, it says it stands above the rest, gets you into the blind, and does good around the world. First one up in the morning, puts the coffee on.
Well, and the other thing I liked about this is, like the stuff you buy in the store, you get it in a little plastic tub, But this thing on the back's got a nice little zip seal on it. You can get all the air out of it because it keeps it fresh.
And it's even got the little for humidity.
Yep, the little thing on the back there. You can see there in the picture.
Yep.
So, that's all good. And once I got it all brewed, I poured myself a cup of coffee. And for the first time, I actually did try it black because I just wanted to see how strong it really was. And, it was really good. So I thought, you know what? Let's brew up a batch tonight. Let's have it on the show. Give these guys a plug because
Absolutely.
I am a coffee connoisseur. So.
And I kind of read you what's on their little on the back of their package here. It says, "Not your ordinary coffee here. It's purchased directly from the growers themselves in Nicaragua and Thailand. Then it's freshly roasted. This coffee is on a mission to make a difference in communities around the world. We are hunters too. We support causes near and dear to our lifestyle and hunting industry. Coffee makes the hunting world go around." Kind of does.
It does.
Because I know now up at camp when I'm there, I usually get up when the alarm goes off, and then I'll make like a round through the cabin, and I'll hit the coffee maker on my way by.
Well, think back. All the old movies you saw, you hear about it. We see it in the movies or in the films that we watch at Badlands and the other film festival we've been to before. I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. I'm forgetful today. Jeez, oh Pete's. But what's the mainstay? They're always cooking by a fire. They always got a pot of coffee sitting on the grate, on the fire, the campfire.
Someone's got to start your morning.
Yeah, or you're gonna finish off your evening. Stay warm. So
you stay warm in the morning. You're a fresh pot of coffee with your breakfast if you're having breakfast.
Yeah,
get a good way to start the day. Sometimes you just gotta watch how much coffee you have, though.
I've had this full pot today. This is my 4th cup.
There you go.
So I'm buzzing pretty good, but I can't remember anything though.
Well, I had 2 this morning, and then this is my 3rd cup of the day. So,
all right.
But you know what? Overall, I really like it. It tastes good.
Yep. So
you wouldn't happen to know how much one of these little gems cost, do you? Or can we find it on the website? If we
it's on the website.
Okay, so if you go to huntersblendcoffee.com or Hemisphere Coffee Roasters.com. I'm sure you can check out the prices there, and
it does. It's got the prices there. I can't remember right offhand. I don't want to misquote it. So.
You can awaken the hunt yourself.
Yeah. So
they're out of Ohio. So they're
That will be in my thermos come turkey season.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it up to camp here in a couple weeks when I go up for turkey season, and yeah, I'll have my thermos of coffee like I always do, and got my Cabela's thermos with me, and we're gonna see what we can do with it.
There you go.
Hopefully, bring me some luck. So,
I wonder if Jim there is referring to. He says and beans. I'm kind of wondering if he's thinking of we're talking.
They do sell beans, coffee beans. It's unground, so you can grind your own. If because like I said, that's a fine grind. You can
so you can buy the whole bean
if you've got a coffee grinder.
Okay,
yep, you can buy the whole bean.
You can grind your own.
Yep. So
gotcha. So, but check them out. Get over there on the website. Check them out. Get yourself some nice smooth coffee. I like it. It's really smooth. It doesn't have that bite to it after.
Yeah, there for a while I was kind of into that, but I don't know.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, I used to.
It must be the wimp in me.
I don't know. I just kind of got away from it. This stuff's really good, though. I do. I really like it. So
absolutely.
And we are in no way affiliated with this company, so I just want to get that out there.
No, they just sent it to us. Mm-hmm. Sent it to you last week for us to try. So this is my first time try it. You've had it today, so we're trying it.
So I tell you what, guys, we're bumping up here on our first break. Why don't we step outside? We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll cover some things we've been doing for the last couple weeks. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right. We're going to step outside. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has reinvented the way you buy bows.
From now on, you can make the most educated decision possible
by basing your bow choice specifically on your shooting needs and goals.
All you need to do is ask yourself, what kind of shooter am I? What do I want to achieve?
PSE will help find the right category for you.
So, what kind of shooter are you?
Find out at psearchery.com.
Killer Food Plots have been helping property owners for over 20 years create premier whitetail habitat. Whether replenishing your soil with their all-natural Organics Fusion pellets or planting a premier KFP food plot seed blend to help your deer rebuild their bodies through spring and summer while supplying the much-needed high energy during and after the rut, you can trust that Killer Food Plots family and their products will help your deer achieve their full potential.
Welcome back, second segment of the show. I'm out of sorts.
You're out of sorts.
This weather has got me down.
It's enough. It's
tired.
cold.
I'm tired of the weather.
You want to open you opened the window because it was hot in the cabin.
Yep.
But it would be nice to be
right back here.
Able
got that
to
window open.
It would be nice to be able to open a window to exchange the fresh air in the house.
Yeah.
And not worry about having to close them up 5 seconds later because it's cold.
I got about an inch and a half there open.
Yeah.
I can feel a little breeze coming through there. It's nice.
Right.
It's hot here in the cabin tonight.
It is hot here in the cabin, but it would be nice if it was kind of warm outside.
Yeah.
Because I'd like. I got 2 weeks from tomorrow. My turkey season goes.
Okay.
So I got 2 weeks of scouting to be starting to doing. Last week I was just like, man, it's just cold and miserable.
Have you been out in the woods yet at all, looking at any?
Not for turkey, no. I was out doing a little shed hunting today.
Okay.
Out in the backyard there. I went off into the woods. Haven't found any.
Nothing yet?
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
It's like, if we do, we do. If we don't, it's no big deal. But there's a pair of sheds that I would like to find. There's that 9-pointer that I had in the backyard.
Okay.
I know he's back there, but...
Well, I'm looking right now at the extended forecast going into your hunt.
Thank you.
That Sunday beforehand, Saturday, Sunday, actually Friday, Saturday, Sunday before your hunt, 61, 55, 57.
Well, that's not too bad.
So that means it'll be 32 the morning you go out.
Yeah, 32 and snowy. Yeah, exactly.
So
I know. Right?
So you didn't find any sheds?
No sheds. The woods was it still a little bit on the not totally wet side, but it was kind of mushy in some spots. So it's still water out there.
No snow?
I did not find any snow. So
had snow in the backyard this morning, in the corner in the shade.
Yep, in the shade you'll see some, but I was just walking around out there looking. Found the remain. I didn't find all the remains of a deer. Found the hair.
Okay.
And it was spread out, kind of a spot here, a big spot here, and 20 feet away was another spot, and a little over here. So
you never found the bones?
Never did.
No bones at all?
No. Usually I find something, but
that's odd.
We're kind of sweeping one direction, so it might have been another direction.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that was coyotes.
Coyotes got a hold of it and scattered it all over the place.
Yeah, they drag it all around. So, but other than that, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna start getting out in the evenings here.
Okay.
Doing some scouting. Probably starting tomorrow. Hopefully the weather, because they're expecting showers again. So
yeah, I think we're gonna start hitting the rainy season here pretty quick.
Yeah,
it's gonna get nasty, and
I want to get out, check some of the spots that I typically spot.
I've seen a lot of birds this last week. We got them here in the back finally.
Oh, did they show up in the back?
They're starting to show up in the back. They're starting to show up in the field down the road. And I'm starting to see birds. Like this week, I was on the road a lot. I was traveling for the station. They had me shooting out in the evening, doing commercial shoots.
Okay.
So I was running 75 north and south quite a bit. And the typical places we'd see birds, we were seeing birds. Even that day it snowed, we had that snow, got that couple inches. That was Friday, I believe. I saw a flock of probably 30 to 40 birds out in a field that I normally see birds in, heading northbound. And,
okay.
Yeah, they're starting to get out and get into the openings,
get
moving. It's like I think they know it's time. I think we're just waiting on the weather now, and
Yeah,
we'll
I think Mother Nature's just kind of playing a small, cruel joke on them. But they know it's time. They got to start doing what they got to do.
Whoever messed with Mother Nature, I'm coming after you because she's not playing nice.
Right. And matter of fact, you went out and did some shoot at a turkey seminar.
Yeah, I did. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to Tom Genzel, who is at the turkey seminar. He just joined.
Oh, okay.
And Greg Moles, a guy I used to work with. Hey, Greg, good to see you, man. It's nice to see you chiming in here and checking out the show for us. But I went to the Flint River chapter of the NWTF Turkey Workshop. Tom Genzel, who just joined in here, was one of the guys that was there.
And Mr. Miller runs it.
Yeah, Jim Miller was there. I got to see him. Got to see a lot of guys I haven't seen in a while. I don't get over to their meetings, their monthly meetings anymore due to my work schedule. And, man, that's what's nice. You got people that you used to talk to and kind of hang around with and do different things with in the hunting world. And, a year or two goes by, you don't see somebody. But when you see them, it's just like, just like you saw them last week.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I got to catch up and talk to some of those guys. And they had a CO that gave the presentation this year.
Oh, okay.
Out of Lapeer County. And he was really good.
Oh, awesome.
He was funny. I sat back and just laughed. So it was really nice being able.
It's always good to have a CO with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And kind of, like we've talked about with the DNR and everything that they do, trying to get their, not necessarily their game face on, but their public perception of them.
Right.
That's a very key thing. So that's cool. So he's joking around with all you guys.
Yeah, he was talking about some of the things that's happened to him in the field or he's seen, some of the stuff serious, talking about safety and things like that, in which you got to be serious about that kind of stuff. But it's also nice to see the personal side of them when they take off the badge and put the camo on and then they're out in the field doing the hunting, and they, it's just, they're like everybody else. That's got a job to do.
Exactly. That's why I like to watch that Northwoods Law.
Yep.
And they do have a Michigan one.
Oh, they do?
Yes, I found it on the Outdoor Channel.
Okay.
And I can't tell you what it is, but I was flipping through, and there's the Michigan DNR.
Wow.
And matter of fact, they were making stops on 94.
Okay.
Of hunters coming through, I think it was 94. I'm pretty sure it was. But down in that area, because they were coming across the border.
Checking them for deer out of state.
That's exactly what they were doing. And the ones they did pull over, I want to say they were coming from either Illinois or Iowa.
Sounds about right. Yep.
And they kind of said, hey. Mm-hmm. And the hunters that they did talk to, they had a misconception of what they could have brought back. And he goes, well, I thought I couldn't. No, it's the bones and that,
right.
So they ended up taking the deer from them, put them into, like they did up at the necropsy, put them in one of those body bags.
Put them in the yellow biohazard bag.
Yep, and shipped them off because they didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when you get a guy like that, did he take questions from the audience?
Yep. Yeah. A lot of guys had some good questions. One thing I didn't know, and I should have known, but I didn't, was, we used to take our kids hunting. Mm-hmm. I mean, but our kids are grown now.
Right.
But when they're little, 8, 9, 10, whatever.
Okay.
And, you get them out in the woods, you get them set down, tree stand or whatever, get them with their bow and everything. You kind of do everything for them and get them all kind of set up and help them, mentor them along the way.
Mm-hmm.
I always took everything, all of our stuff, in my backpack. You know, my driver's license, my hunting license, knife. If it was, you know, if we were gun hunting, it'd be the extra ammunition.
Okay.
And I'd put their
in a backpack.
Yeah, their license and everything in in the backpack, and I'd carry it. And he said, technically, that's illegal
because
they're not carrying their license.
It needs to be on their person.
Yep. Even though they're with you and you're their
Right.
parent, it has to be on them.
Yep.
He said, if you're going to if they're responsible enough to take a firearm into the field, then they're responsible enough to take their license as well. And he says, if you're worried about them losing it, he said, get them a backpack. He said, you know, and put it in there. You know, he said, that's the easiest way to do it.
You know, and that's, you're right. You're right about how that, you know, okay, we're going to go out hunting, so we're going to take this. You carry the gun or your bow and let's go. Yep. And that's a good reminder.
It is, you know, and I was like, wow, you know, I never really give it any thought. You know, I know when you're hunting and you're afield and you're hunting, whether it's bow or your rifle, shotgun, whatever weapon you have to use, you have to have, you know, your driver's license or a sport card or some kind of personal identification and your hunting license.
On your person.
On your person. You got to have it with you in your pockets, in your backpack, something
I
you
got
have with you.
mine in my compartment of my backpack.
Yep, that's what I do too.
Yeah, and now that you think, probably when my kids were younger, I probably did the same thing.
Yeah, it's just
because we took one backpack.
Right.
You know, instead of here, well, you carry whatever. Maybe I'll carry the blind in the backpack. You carry what you need to carry. Let's go.
Right.
But that's wrong.
Yep, it is. It's wrong. So at least here in this state,
right?
I assume most other states are the same way. But you know, interestingly enough, even there's things that I just read today. Hang on here. Let me reach over here and get it. And I got this sent to me the other day from QDMA. It's a Whitetail Report for 2018. It's a hard copy.
Okay.
It was nice of him to send this to me.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of the guys there. He's like, do you have it? And I go, well, I know it's online. He goes, well, let me send you a hard copy. I said, thank you. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But they're talking about different game laws for different states, and they got them color-coded here as to certain things that...
some apply in some states and don't apply in others.
Yeah, like putting a license on a carcass, on a deer. Some states do not... Let me see if I can find it here real quick. Do not require you to tag the carcass.
Really?
Yeah, which I thought was really odd. Just because we're so used to it here, you know.
You know, that's the first thing we do.
Yeah.
You know, technically, before you even take a picture, tag it.
And the other one I just passed here that I want to go over as well.
It's all, you know, it's a good reminder because we just switched over to the new licenses for this year, 2018, is to get a book and check it out and get your and go through them.
This page right over here, the states that are orange do not require you to tag the carcass.
Oh, okay.
Wisconsin, Arkansas, New Mexico, Nevada, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, and North Carolina do not require you to tag the carcass. And I'm like, that's different, but that's what they're saying here. So the rest of them in green do. The ones in gray, there's no information given.
Oh, okay.
They didn't report the information. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. Now I have heard there were states that didn't do that, but it's just, once again, when you see it, you know, and it's given to you like this, you know, you
in
think,
color.
Yeah, you're like, wow, I didn't realize so many
it kind of, you know, that's another point. If you plan on doing some out-of-state hunting,
yeah,
check into the laws, make sure.
Well, and here's another good one I'm going to hold up here real quick. The one on the bottom, all those states in orange, it is illegal to use a drone during hunting season. Now, the way that's stated, because I'm currently studying for my pilot's license for drones.
Okay.
Through work. That is kind of vague. You cannot, in the state of Michigan, you cannot use a drone during the process of hunting.
Correct. You can use it during hunting season if you fly one around.
Yeah.
But you can't use it
for hunting purposes.
For hunting purposes, like flying it over a field to see if there's deer in there.
Right. Or chase game with it.
Chase game with it.
Yeah.
That would be using it for hunting.
Yeah. But there's other states that, especially in the southeast, that you can use a drone during hunting season. So Yeah. So with technology, things advance and things the laws don't really keep up with the technology.
Yep, exactly. So. Hey, Jerry Lambert's watching.
Hey, Jerry, what's going on, man?
The birthday boy. He had a birthday, I think it was yesterday or the day before.
All right. Hey, AJ Regal's on too. So,
but
quick shout out.
You talk about the drone thing. Yeah, that came up, might be 2 years now.
Yeah.
When that first came out, and that was like a big, well, is it legal, not legal?
Right.
You cannot use it in the process of hunting.
Right.
You can use it if you're not hunting to go up, scout a field.
Right.
Look it over.
Here's my question. I thought about it. As soon as I saw that in there, I was flipping through that today. I was doing some work back here in the offices and recording some video, and I'm like, checking this out. And I'm like, okay, let's say you shoot a deer, and it takes off. And it goes into a cattail swamp. Okay, and it's thick. Could you fly a drone over that cattail swamp to see if the deer is in there, laying down?
Is that? I guess there's a gray area there.
Is that hunting?
Technically,
is that retrieving?
Are you done? Exactly. I was just about to say that. Are you done hunting? And let's say you said, "Oh, it's in the cattail swamp." You go back to the cabin. Mm-hmm. Only thing you bring back is the drone.
Yeah, you don't bring back
a weapon or whatever. Nothing. Just a drone. You fly it over there. So is that now? That's a good question.
I don't know. And had I thought of that question, I would have asked the DNR guy that I talked to yesterday. I would have asked him that question, and I bet you, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but I bet you probably has a lot to do with intent, and I bet it's one of those gray areas to where the CO
has to make a judgment call
as to what you're doing and why you're doing it, and the whole situation. So
I'm sure that's he would have to look and say, okay, what are you guys doing? Yeah. You don't have any weapons on you. You're just flying this drone just to see if there's something there.
Yeah.
But then,
Well, here's my bigger point is the fact is you don't want to waste game.
That's
you don't want to waste game. If it's out there, you want to retrieve it. So
exactly.
I think a lot of it has to do with, like I said, with intent. So
intent and that's a lot of the gray area.
Well, I tell you what, I intend to take a break right now.
All right.
That's my intent. So we're going to step outside, take our next break. We come back, we'll continue to talk about some things that we're covering here in our area here the last 2 weeks. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has always dominated the speed category. Now, the most revolutionary cam system ever to hit the market has perfected the shooting experience. Introducing PSE's Evolve Cam System, featuring extremely high let-off capabilities and the smoothest draw cycle in history. No other cam system has ever delivered this level of total comfort and total control. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
Killer Food Plots have been helping property owners for over 20 years create premier whitetail habitat. Whether replenishing your soil with their all-natural Organics Fusion pellets or planting a premier KFP food plot seed blend to help your deer rebuild their bodies through spring and summer while supplying the much-needed high energy during and after the rut, you can trust that Killer Food Plots family and their products will help your deer achieve their full potential.
Welcome back, third segment of the show, everybody. Back in the cabin again.
Back in the cabin again. And just you said that the turkeys have returned.
Yep.
Have you been hearing the coyotes since they've been? I'm kind of wondering.
We've been hearing coyotes around here for the last, not a lot, but we've been hearing them off and on for about the last 2 or 3 months. Now, there's a neighbor around the corner who works up here at the local school that my daughter goes to, and my wife's been up there, I don't know, 3 or 4 times dropping stuff off for her. And every time she goes in, the lady talks about the coyotes.
Oh, okay.
Your husband needs to come over here and trap these things. And I'm like, I'm not going over in the back of their yard sitting all night waiting on a couple of coyotes to show up, Not this time of year. So, right. But yeah, she's always talking about the coyotes.
Okay. So they're around.
Around. Yeah.
I was just wondering if the turkeys were kind of playing they're not over here, so we're going to come over here game.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not seen the coyotes out in the field, and I've not really heard them up close. My wife says she's heard them close, but I've not heard them.
I'm sure they've come through this field.
Yeah, so they've got to be. They're around,
Oh, yeah, they're around, definitely.
But, no, the one thing I've been working on all week, started Deer Steward 1 class. I'm taking that course.
Now, that is offered through QDMA? Who's it offered by?
It's QDMA's class, but it's in conjunction with and through Clemson, the University of Clemson. So
that's a tiger.
Yeah, I know it's a tiger. It's not Auburn. Doesn't matter.
It's not this Roll Tide thing.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, all right. Just making sure. I know you sometimes get
Their coach is an Alabama guy, so I can.
Oh, okay. All right.
I can tolerate it.
Okay. All right. So through Clemson University.
Yep.
Deer Steward number 1.
Yeah.
And you just started this week.
Yeah, just started. I'm in module 1. I think 1 of 6.
Okay.
And actually, I'm taking this along with a group of other people here in Michigan. Kind of a group. We're all we're not working together, obviously, because it's online, but we're kind of in a group mentoring each other, encouragement, and asking questions. And
right.
As a group, we're going through this process of learning.
At your own pace.
Yeah.
But you're all doing it.
Yeah. No, Anna Mitterling from MUCC has actually set this up, this group. And it's co-op stewards, co-op people like myself, and we're all working through this process together. So we started on last Sunday night, was first day. It's like, okay, April 1st is the kickoff, and we're doing chunks, a chunk of it every week. So the first week we did, module 1, we did half of it. There's 6 videos, so we did 3.
Okay.
Today I actually started the second half and watched the 4th video of that series. So once I get done with the next 2 videos, I get to take a test.
Okay. So at the end of each module is a test?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You get so long to take this test. Once you start it, I can't remember exactly what the time frame is. Somebody said they finished it in about 20, 30 minutes. So
okay.
So yeah, you sit down and take it. Some people say you can take it more than once. And the questions change. And obviously that's probably for people in case you don't pass it, you go back and take it again. They change it up.
You can't. Yeah, I know what they're doing.
Yeah, so that way you're not going, I got to go find this question that I missed.
Right.
And I don't even know if they even tell you what you missed. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So I'm taking that, and very interesting.
Oh, cool.
Very, very interesting.
Now, roughly how long do they say it should take you to get through Deer Steward 1, 6 modules?
They give you 6 months.
Oh, okay.
You work at your own pace.
So a module a month could get you to the end of 6 months. Okay. I see.
Yeah, and realistically, this first module, the way I've been working it, 3 videos during the week. The first one was like 20-something minutes. The next one was about an hour. The next one was about an hour. And the 4th one, when I checked out today, was an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
So
now is this a PowerPoint presentation video, or is this a teacher in front of a video?
It's a teacher. So far it's QDMA's people. They're biologists. They're leaders that are specialized in certain fields. They will teach that section. They're standing in front of a camera. They're in a lecture hall. They've got a PowerPoint presentation. It's really a lot like a lot of the presentations and seminars I've already been to.
Okay, good.
When I went to the Prescribed Fire one, it was much like that.
Death by PowerPoint.
Yeah.
But at least they got somebody there helping you through it.
Yeah, and they talk through the whole thing and walk you right through it. It's very, very powerful.
Cool.
I've already learned a lot. Just in the first 4, it's just been incredible. So
that's good. That's kind of helping the education of your own self, and that way, when you talk to other people, you can basically, you're not talking out of your butt.
Right.
Hey, I know this because
you got a point of view on information that you have learned from a university, on a university level. You've got a certificate at the end of this thing stating the fact that you have been through this course and you have learned this information. Yep. And there's Deer Steward 2 that I'm hoping to take in the next year or 2.
What's now the curriculum for Deer Steward 1, 2?
2 you have to take in person.
Is there more than 2 Deer Stewards?
I
don't know.
I can't remember.
Okay, all right.
But I know it's quite a bit more money.
So number 2, you have to take in person.
Yes.
Oh.
I think it's like 3 days. 2 days, 3 days. Don't quote me on that, but
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure you got to go somewhere for that, but it's just not
Right.
Okay.
Yep. So it's not like you're going to go down to the local county co-op and sit
No.
sit down at the grain elevator with a bunch of farmers and take it. No.
Right. No. It sounds like you're going to be going somewhere purposely, study hall.
Yep.
Take your test.
Right.
Ooh.
So
interesting.
No, I'm taking it for myself, obviously, trying to get more knowledge, making myself a better steward of the land, better steward of our resources and animals, trying to correct some things that we're not doing right in our area, our hunting area, and I'm not talking about just our camp, I'm talking about this whole northeastern part of Michigan. There's a group of us kind of starting to work together, and we want to make an impact in northeastern Michigan.
That's it.
We want to change hunting.
And you know what? And that's the thing about changing hunting is there's ways to do it, and one of the ways is to be knowledgeable of what you're trying to do. So if somebody asks you a question, you can respond with an adequate answer instead of
sound science.
You want to do this? Why? Well, because I said so. No,
because they've done these studies and they've done this, and this has shown that this is what happens.
Right, exactly.
When you do this or when you don't do this.
Yep, exactly. And then it's just like next week we're gonna go head out see Lincoln Rowan Company.
Yep.
And they're trying to do the APR thing, but they're also stating, look, here's the data and the facts from the Northwest 12, your own test case.
Right.
As to will this work?
Right. So. Yeah, they're using that. The speaker there is going to be Wayne Sitton, who I'm actually starting to try to mold this area up north in northern Michigan, working with him and his son.
He's been doing it for 20 plus years and up there.
Yeah.
So it's working in there because there was some. I have to say there's some pretty nice mounts in that garage we're in. So I'm assuming they were all taken off the land.
Yeah.
So they're doing something right.
Yeah.
And
what they're doing is they're doing it right. And, we've learned from him. We've learned from Dr. James Kroll, Dr. Grant Woods. If you start listening to these people and what they say in QDMA or QDM, Quality Deer Management, and Quality Deer Management Association, along with the biologists, they're all in that. They're all together. They're all pretty much together on the focus and the direction of the way things need to go. And all you got to do is just open your mind a little bit.
Well, that if you've got any questions, ask.
Exactly.
If you've got doubt about something, because pick something. Just ask the question.
Yep.
And don't just ask one of the guys. Ask a couple different ones. Get their opinions, then make your own opinion.
Yep.
We're not telling you, or they're not telling you, you need to do this. No, they're just putting the facts out on the table, and here you go.
Right.
Just like the Northwest 12 came back with their data sheet. Here's the facts. You read it. You deduct what you want from it. Is it good or bad? So,
well, from what I'm seeing and everything that I've kind of seen and heard and learned, it all makes sense. This all makes sense, and it's science. It's really been since about the I think QDMA started around 82ish, and if you really remember, the big push on this started coming right around the end of the 1990s, beginning of 2000, and we started getting science behind the hunting industry, or hunting, and the biology behind it and everything that goes along, habitat. And we're starting to see some things that really can change the way people hunt. They can change the way animals are managed, the way the habitat, and the way it all interacts together and works to the betterment of the land and the animals.
Right, exactly. And that helps out both things.
Yeah, because what are we dealing with right now in Michigan? TB?
We're dealing with...
and CWD.
CWD and TB, and we'll deal with...
EHD
in August and September, which sometimes is good. We get hit really hard, or sometimes you barely hear anything about it.
Yeah.
So it's there, but those are the three that we usually deal with.
Right.
And then we deal with it on a stage. So it's like we got to take care of it. And the decisions that need to be done should be done using sound science.
Let's take a break right now because I want to come back and I want to touch on that with something I just saw in the 2018
QDMA report.
Whitetail Report.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. I want to go over this a little bit here. There's something I found here that's pretty interesting. So let's step outside. We'll be right back after this.
Acceleration is part of PSE's DNA. PSE pioneered the speed movement. Now they've developed the vapor category to help you find the most powerful bows on the market to fit you.
High speed equates to intense power and building the momentum you need to be successful. Are you a vapor shooter? Find out at psearchery.com.
Killer Food Plots have been helping property owners for over 20 years create premier whitetail habitat. Whether replenishing your soil with their all-natural Organics Fusion pellets or planting a premier KFP food plot seed blend to help your deer rebuild their bodies through spring and summer while supplying the much-needed high energy during and after the rut, you can trust that Killer Food Plots family and their products will help your deer achieve their full potential.
Welcome back.
Last segment of the show.
Last segment. You know, and kind of go back
There's
to
another reason why it's good to have a hard copy.
Yeah, you can refer back to it.
You can refer back to it. You can hold it up and you know.
When you're somewhere else and you got a lot of time to sit down and you can read.
That's right.
Wherever that might be.
Exactly. In a blind.
Yeah, in a deer blind. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Okay? But when I picked this up, it kind of opened right to the middle, right there where the staples are, right here in the centerfold.
Okay.
Here's the centerfold, folks. It's something I can actually show.
All right.
And this chart right here talks about deer management goals by state and by province. Okay. We've all been talking about how this state here manages deer and our complaints.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the things that they either are using or not using to manage deer. These are some of the core things.
Okay.
Herd density, herd health, herd age structure, habitat health, hunter opportunity, hunter satisfaction, deer vehicle accidents, and agricultural damage. So we go down here to Michigan.
So now these are they check marks?
Yes.
Okay, so you check mark off if you're using that
as one of your
as you're managing your
goals.
Deer to this goal.
Yep.
Okay, so what? Oh boy.
Herd density. Nope. State of Michigan they're not using herd density to manage deer. Herd health. They're saying they're using herd health. So I got to imagine that's got to do with TB and CWD.
Okay.
So their deer management goals are they're pushing behind the herd health. Herd age structure. Nope. We know that. They're not using that at all.
Nope.
Otherwise, they go probably with APRs.
Yes.
Habitat health. Yes. They say they're using habitat health to manage deer. Hunter opportunity. That's a concern to them. Yes, they use hunter opportunity as a way to manage deer in this state. But they do not use hunter satisfaction. And here's two that I found really interesting that they said yes to. Deer vehicle accidents and agricultural damage. What do those two have in common?
Well, it's usually our insurance company is one.
Okay.
For car deer accidents.
Right. And go back to herd health.
Herd
health.
And herd health. And you also got the agricultural kill permits that you're eating my crops. So we're going to go out and
you got DMAT permits, disease management.
Oh, yep. They got those too.
So what does that tell you our goals in this state?
Okay, so pick another state that doesn't use those two. Is it one that
doesn't use those two?
Is it one of those states that you might find people going to hunt?
Is
Kansas in there or anything like that?
Actually, Midwest, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, all use those.
Okay. So
Kentucky doesn't. Michigan does. Minnesota doesn't. Nebraska does. Most of your bigger deer states
I find it kind of odd that they don't use hunters. Oh, they do use hunter satisfaction.
Now, in the South, like in the southeastern region or down south, they use agricultural, but not so much deer vehicle accidents.
Okay.
So I think they said, let me find it here real quick if I can find it. I think it was 18% of the states used deer vehicle.
Okay, 18%.
And agricultural damage.
And it seems like our committee up there tends to agree with that. But they're not using hunter's satisfaction. They're using hunter opportunity.
I take that back. It says deer vehicle accidents, 14 states, 35% were the least used parameters. So There you go.
So there you go. They're not using hunter satisfaction, but they are using hunters' opportunities.
Yeah, I found that odd.
Isn't that like?
I don't know. You think those two would go hand in hand?
You would think, but why would you use one and not the other?
Yeah,
so,
I don't know.
So let me ask you this then: when said you stop at check station,
yep,
and they ask you, "How was your hunt?"
Mm-hmm.
And you say, "Fine." Do they say, "Oh, he liked his hunt. That's a satisfactory"?
You don't know. See, it's all objective,
right? Well, and we know this with anything that you want to be able to do.
You can skew the numbers any way you want.
You can skew any way you want,
right?
And to tell you the truth, we were checking a deer a few years back, and I kind of got that impression the way they were asking the questions. How you doing? Hey, great. How was your season? You seen a lot of deer? Kind of getting that. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, they saw a lot of deer.
Generalizations.
They were happy with what they saw. And I think at the time, I don't know if I remember because it was at the check station at the bridge. But it was just like, yeah, I wish I could have shot a doe.
Right.
But
they didn't ask that question.
Right?
Yeah.
They just, kind of asked
leading questions
on how you did, did you see a lot of deer,
mm-hmm.
blah, blah, blah. And then you go on, and then that could have been part of their survey. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, did you get the survey, the online survey? And did you take it? A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I did mine.
I don't think I did mine.
I don't think they'll be too happy with mine.
Really?
Oh, because anywhere there was able to comment, I commented. And ran out of room.
I ran out of my 132 characters.
Right.
But, it's just like that. And here we go. Next week, we're going to sit down. Unfortunately, everybody in that room is going to be speaking to the choir.
That's true.
Everybody's in there for the same purpose.
That's true.
And it's like, okay.
Well, but I will say this. Okay, they are. But something else I read in my quarterly whitetail today from QDMA, as I was sitting back here and had time, that we are shooting less does now, and that's a concern.
What was the number one thing? Oh, that was the meeting I was listening into that you couldn't attend, but I did for you.
Dwindling doe harvest.
And it was Kip Adams
mm-hmm.
mentioned the number one thing that shocked him was our doe harvest.
Here in Michigan.
Yes.
Yeah.
He goes, it jumped out at him. He goes, wow, you guys aren't shooting any does.
No, we don't. Not to speak of. But they said this was the first time, 2015, 14, yeah, 2013. After that season, 2014, 15, 16, last 3 years, we've seen a decline of the total number. It was the first time that we've seen a decline in doe harvest in an increase in buck harvest where they crossed, and we shot more bucks than does. And it's been trending that way for the last 3 years.
And the one thing that DNR likes to do is do trends.
So that's a concern. Now, does that say we need to shoot does everywhere? No. That's not the message. The message is where the resource is the greatest. And I say resource, I'm talking about the does, where the population, and where it's askew. You don't have the correct buck to doe ratio. You got too many deer, and you got overbrowsing, and your habitat's getting destroyed. Those are places where you need to shoot does.
Right. And they're having a hard time with that.
Yep.
Because, well, according to that, they're using hunters' opportunity
mm-hmm.
as opposed to satisfaction.
State of Michigan, but this is across the United States.
But it just goes. This story. And I know we have our zones, our DMU units,
mm-hmm.
and I look at that map every time, and I kind of boggles my mind how when you look at a Ohio map, they've
mm-hmm.
got it county by county by county.
Right.
And we've got
sections that are by areas.
Actually,
I misspoke here, and I do want to get this correct. Let me go back to this real quick, because this chart. 2016 was when we saw more bucks killed than does. Is when that threshold crossed over.
And that report is actually from is that considered the 2016?
This is always a year behind, so this is for the 2016 season.
So next year will be for the 2017.
Yeah, okay, because they finished the season in 2017. It comes out in 18. It takes a year to compile the data.
Well, yeah, because some seasons don't end until January, anyways.
But since 1999, 2016 was the first year where the the amount of bucks killed was more than the amount of does across the United States. But the trend for those last 3 years has been down, 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 down.
Right.
And it finally crossed over in 2016.
Gotcha.
So yeah, they're worried about it. Obviously.
Well, that goes back to okay. So now you got to try to get people to shoot more does.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what. Getting back to what you were saying, I completely lost track where we're going to go with this. You said that they're preaching to the choir.
Oh,
up here at the Deer Summit coming up. Yes and no. He's bringing in Wayne Sitton to talk about his message is going to be shoot does here in Michigan. These areas, where it needs to be done, do it. Drop the hammer on them, and get everything back in check. Get everything back the way it's supposed to be. So,
well, I think
we're not even doing it.
I think it is preaching to the choir, but the choir can learn.
Absolutely.
And they can walk away and say, when they come in contact with somebody that says, I don't believe you, hold on, let's pull up the Wayne Sitton report. Could you please read this? And then you tell me, this is where I'm coming from.
Right. Okay, now, everybody who out there is listening to our voices right now, whether you're on the podcast or the live stream, if you go over to our Facebook page, you scroll back into January, you will see who we're talking about. Wayne Sitton gave a presentation at the Anchor Creek Deer Co-op, and we recorded that. And he talks about the reasons, the scientific reasons why when you have buck to doe ratios askew, why you need to shoot the right does and how to age those does and why you should shoot those older does. Please go back and look at that, because there is over 15 years of research that's went into that.
Right. It isn't the. This is the last 2 years of my life.
No, there is.
It took them a while to do this purposely.
They compile data in Michigan, I think Mexico, Texas, Pennsylvania. They've been.
It kind of went in like a vertical line almost. Like
yeah.
Michigan, Pennsylvania, Texas, Mexico.
There's been a lot of research done in that area with Dr. James Kroll as well. So. Yeah, go back, check that out if you haven't. We posted that on the Up North Journal page back in January.
Yeah, back in January.
And maybe it's time to share that again.
You know what? We probably should, this week, let's bump it up for knowing we're going into next weekend.
Right on. So yeah, even preaching to the choir sometimes is good. We need to preach to the choir to remind ourselves that we still need to do the things that we need to do. Sometimes we forget about them. We get concentrated on, chasing the big buck all the time. And maybe not so much about, well, where's our doe numbers? Where's our habitat numbers?
Right. Absolutely. And then, I myself, I'm a little handcuffed right now because of...
You can't.
I can't. So I just deal
Nothing you can do.
Nothing I can do. I have to abide by the law and take care of what I need to do.
Yep.
Right?
That's all you can do.
That's all I can do. And hope Mother Nature doesn't play a cruel joke on me in the next 2 months and hits me hard.
Right.
Give me another soft another soft winter, and we might be turning things around.
Well, speaking of that, up at our camp, we haven't talked about this yet, but I just got a call this week from our camp manager.
Okay.
After that big snow, found more dead deer on the property. And he went out and did the exact same thing that we did to the deer that we found.
Oh, right.
3 weeks ago on the property. Went up. Opened up the belly. These were deer that had just probably passed away within the last day or so.
Okay. That
heavy, wet snow. And unzipped them, and they were full of the same type browse as the one we found before, of white pine needles and sweet fern and other junk.
Again, crack that front leg open. Would like to have known.
Yep.
What that looked like, right? The bone marrow structure looked like.
Yep.
Because that was amazing. When we were doing the necropsy, that was probably like a huge telltale sign just by that alone.
Right.
They crack that front leg, look at it, and go.
Take a pair of loppers, like limb loppers, with
that's
you.
Exactly.
If you're out in the woods and you're on a hike, throw them on your back, strap them to your backpack or whatever as you're out. And if you find a fresh kill, or a fresh one that's died, cut that femur, that front femur or leg bone, the lower leg bone, cut that thing off, take a stick and look, and if it's clear and runny, it's stressed. If bone marrow, what bone marrow is supposed to look like.
Yep.
It's supposed to be rich and red.
Rich, red, and not runny.
Exactly. So that'll give you some good indications. Hey, Lincoln, what's going on?
Lincoln has
joined the discussion here.
Lincoln is in the house.
So we're just talking about the the Michigan Deer Summit and some of the things going along with
next week. And
and Lincoln, who is actually putting that
spearheading it.
Yes, he is actually on board right now.
And it is sold out, so it will be a full house.
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. It'd be good to see Lincoln and company out there and get up there and have a good night with them.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we'll be talking about it next week on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'll be Saturday night. So, yeah, Sunday we'll definitely be talking about it.
We'll be home fresh from it, fresh in our minds.
So, but, so we found more dead deer on the property, right after that snow. And you're talking about the type of browse, he said the gut was packed full of pine needles again. And as we've learned in the past from Dr. Kroll and from Wayne and other people, it's going to be in Deer Steward. It's coming up.
Oh, okay.
It changes the acidic value in the stomach. It changes that whole chemistry, and they can't digest that food. And that's why they just keep packing, and they're not getting nothing out of it.
No,
and they die.
It's just eating to
They starve to
eat.
death.
Yep.
Yeah, they starve to death. So, but it's frustrating. But we're hoping
and hopefully get it turned around. Get what you need, put on the ground.
Right.
That'll help them get through that when they need it. About now.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and we're hopefully going to go through this whole management system. If everything works out correctly with everybody at camp, if we make this decision to do this, we can start turning things around and making those changes to our habitat and start heading in the right direction. And what I'd like to see is everybody in the area and kind of like look and see what we're doing and kind of come together as a group, as a co-op,
right,
and start changing the area.
Well, and I hope you guys can, and I hope you guys get the whoever's to the east or whoever's to the north, south, whatever, kind of eventually sees that if things work out, who you're working with, and see, oh wow, well he's working with that guy, and well they do pretty good, so if we get on board, hopefully a snowball effect, right?
Right, yeah. Well, man, they've been doing this for a couple of years, and they're starting to see some results.
They're kind of following what they're doing, and they've been doing it for 20 years,
right?
So it's like, wow, okay. Like they said, the genetics are there,
right? Yep.
Would it be nice to frost seed with an airplane? Sure.
That was pretty cool.
That was really cool, dude. But, it just gets back to that, this is the time of year, they need it, and it's like...
It's crucial. It's crucial for the bucks to get that food now and get back on their feet and get into the spring.
Well,
especially
mama's carrying,
and then you've got the does that need to get food coming into the fawning season. They got to start milk production. There's just so many things that I've never, with this Deer Steward class, I've never thought about. It's like, and when you start listening, oh, I remember him saying something about that. Oh, and here's why, and you start putting these things together, and it's really empowering as a hunter, as a steward of the land, to know that you've got knowledge and you can make an impact. Right. You can make an impact for the betterment of your area, of the animals and of the land.
And when you do that of the land, it just doesn't help the deer. It helps
everything.
All the animals.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, exactly. So.
All right, so that's about all we got this week. We're running just a little bit long in the tooth here, so
imagine that.
Yeah, right on. Well,
but anyways,
it's
been a couple weeks. So next week we'll be back on live, and we'll be back from the Lincoln Roan Deer Summit,
the Michigan Deer Summit.
That's right. So we probably have some good information to share with you then.
Absolutely, and go to our Facebook page. If you haven't followed us over there, go over there and click the follow button. Click the like button, join the conversation here with us. We post a lot of stuff on our page. We're always putting things out there that are educational for you guys.
And I'm going to be trying to get out this week during the evening, so I might
take some pictures.
I might pop in if I got connection. I'll
go live.
Absolutely.
So,
because I'll
check it out.
See what's out there.
YouTube's another resource. Twitter, we're on Twitter. Follow us over on Twitter.
Exactly. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Check us out.
Absolutely. And also,
hey, Brett Jackson.
share the podcast, share our live stream, share that stuff around. We'd really appreciate it if you did that for us.
Right.
All right, folks, here on the podcast, that's going to do it for this week. We're going to sign off, so we'll be back again next week. And don't forget, you can catch us in syndication at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on goodtalkradio.com. This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Carbon Express,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Winsent Hunting Sense,
Killer Food Plots, Seeds, Supplements, and Attractants,
Cabela's,
Spot Shooters,
Limb Walker Turkey Calls,
Antler Action,
Family Tradition Tree Stands,
and Twisted Mind Bowstrings.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.